What if I told you that if you stick with me for the next few minutes, I could give you a free pass into the private language of women, specifically the words that should make every man stop in his tracks and walk away? You'd save yourself a lifetime of frustration, wasted energy, and the kind of heartbreak that can leave scars for years. Stay with me, because in this video, I'm going to break down 7 things a woman will say that are not just casual phrases, but red flags big enough to cover the sky. You see, when you first meet someone, it's easy to get lost in the excitement. Her smile, her energy, the way she makes you feel, it can blind you to what she's really telling you underneath the surface. And sometimes it's not about what she does, but about what she says. The truth is, women often reveal their mindset and intentions in small sentences, in passing comments. If you're not paying attention, you'll miss the signals. And by the time you realize what those words meant, it's too late. You've already invested your time, your emotions, maybe even your resources into someone who never deserved it in the first place. Listen carefully, because these 7 statements might sound harmless at first. They might even sound playful or normal, but when a woman says them, they carry weight. They show you where her priorities are, how she sees you, and most importantly, how the relationship will play out if you ignore the warning signs. I want you to think about it like this. Every sentence I'm about to share with you is like a preview of the movie you're about to star in. And if you don't like the trailer, you better not buy a ticket. This isn't about being bitter or anti-women. It's about protecting yourself. It's about valuing your own time, your peace of mind, and your future. Because once you know what to listen for, once you can catch these phrases early, you'll never look at dating the way again. You'll save yourself from disappointment and walk away from situations that were never meant to serve you. So, let's not waste another second. Here are 7 things a woman will tell you that should make you leave her immediately. But before we start, listen carefully. What you see here in my channel is just a preview, not the full picture. If you really want to master the dating game and learn how modern relationships actually work, don't waste time. Rush right now to https://stoic-attitude-life.com/AAGVL, or go to my description and click the link below and unlock the real strategies, the real teachings, the real results. Don't just watch Level Up today. So, let's get started. I don't need a man one. I don't need a man. Now, let's start with the first and perhaps the loudest red flag a woman can throw at you. I don't need a man. At first, this might sound like a harmless statement. You might even think she's just being strong and independent. After all, in today's world, we're told that independence is attractive, that a woman who can handle her own business is admirable. And yes, independence is great. But here's the catch. When a woman says, I don't need a man, she's not talking about independence. She's sending you a clear message about how she sees you, how she values relationships, and what role she expects you to play or not play in her life. Think about it. Relationships thrive on partnership. They thrive on 2 people coming together, not because they're desperate, not because they're incapable on their own, but because they want to build something together. When someone says they don't need the other person, what they're really saying is, you are optional. You are replaceable. Your presence here doesn't matter to me. And trust me, no healthy relationship can survive that mindset. When a woman repeats this line, what she's doing is creating a shield. It's her way of saying she doesn't see the value in what a man brings to the table. She wants you to believe that she can do it all by herself. But here's the truth. If she really believed that, she wouldn't be dating. She wouldn't be in your presence. She wouldn't be entertaining the idea of a relationship, saying, I don't need a man. Nurtured ways and HTACT is a form of power play. It's about making you feel small, disposable, like you're an accessory instead of a partner. Now, here's where most men get trapped. You hear that statement and you want to prove her wrong. You want to show her that you're valuable, that you're different, that you're the kind of man she actually does need. And that's exactly the mistake. The moment you fall into that trap, you hand over your power. You start working overtime to prove yourself to someone who has already told you in plain words that she doesn't value you. That road leads to exhaustion, frustration, and eventually resentment. Let me make this clear. A woman who respects men, a woman who values relationships, will never say those words. She can be independent. She can earn her own money. She can handle her own life. But she will never feel the need to put down the role of a man in order to feel strong. A woman who truly understands her own value will also appreciate yours. And here's why this statement is dangerous. If she doesn't think she needs you, she won't prioritize you. She won't respect your effort. She won't appreciate your presence. And eventually, when times get tough and every relationship faces challenges, she won't stick around to work through it. She'll leave because to her, you were never necessary in the first place. Men, let me say it plainly. If a woman looks you in the eye and says, "I don't need a man," take her at her word. Don't argue. Don't try to prove yourself. Don't waste time trying to convince her otherwise. Just leave, because the reality is you deserve to be with someone who wants you, who values you, and who understands that a relationship is built on partnership, not on competition. It's not your job to fix her mindset. It's not your job to change her views. It's your job to protect yourself, your peace, and your future. And walking away from a woman who says, "I don't need a man," is the smartest decision you can make. My ex was better too. My ex was better. If there's one statement that should make you pause and reconsider everything, it's this one. My ex was better. Now let's get this straight. No man alive wants to hear those words. Imagine giving your time, your energy, and your heart to a woman only for her to compare you to someone from her past. The moment she brings her ex into the conversation as the standard, you're no longer in a relationship with just her. You're in competition with a ghost, someone who isn't even in her life anymore, but still has space in her mind. And that's not only unfair, it's toxic. When a woman tells you that her ex was better, she's telling you more than just a casual comparison. She's telling you that she hasn't moved on. She's telling you that in her eyes, you'll never measure up. She's telling you that no matter what you do, she'll always be looking back instead of forward. And here's the harsh truth. No relationship can survive when one person is stuck in the past. Let's break this down. Relationships are supposed to be about the two of you and her, building something in the present and moving toward the future. The moment her ex's name comes up as a measuring stick, the relationship loses balance. Instead of being appreciated for who you are, you're constantly weighed against someone else. And even if she doesn't say it often, the damage is already done because once you hear those words, they replay in your mind. Every effort you make, every moment you spend, you'll be wondering if it's good enough compared to him. That's not love. That's not self, that's a burden. Now, some men make the mistake of fighting for validation when this happens. They think, "I'll prove to her that I'm better than her ex. I'll give more. I'll love harder. I'll do things he never did." But listen carefully. That's exactly the trap. Because the moment you start competing with her ex, you've already lost. You can't win against someone who isn't even there. You can't fight for her attention against the memory of someone she refuses to let go of. The deeper issue here is respect. A woman who respects you will never say those words, not even as a joke. Why? Because she knows how damaging they are. She knows how they undermine your confidence and your trust. And she understands that comparing you to her past is not only insulting, it's destructive to the relationship she claims to care about. Think about it this way. If she truly valued you, she wouldn't even bring her ex into the conversation. He'd be irrelevant. He'd be out of her mind because all her energy and focus would be on building with you. The fact that she brings him up, and worse, claims he was better, shows you exactly where her loyalty stands. And that's not with you, men. I'll be brutally honest. If a woman ever looks at you and says, "My ex was better," you don't need to argue. You don't need to get angry, and you don't need to prove anything. You just need to leave, because what she's really saying is, "I haven't healed. I haven't moved on. I still compare every man to the one who left me." And you don't want to be caught in that cycle. Don't let your pride trick you into staying. Don't think you can erase his shadow by doing more. Because here's the reality. No matter how hard you try, if she's still hung up on him, you'll never be enough in her eyes. And the longer you stay, the more it eats away at your self-worth. You deserve better. You deserve a woman who sees you not through the lens of her past, but for who you are today. A woman who values what you bring without comparing it to what someone else gave. A woman who isn't still chained to old memories, but ready to build new ones with you. So, remember this when she says, "My ex was better." Manachur chi, wetter chai chi jumai chi. Take it for what it is. A warning sign, a red flag, a door that tells you it's time to walk away because staying will only end in frustration, disappointment, and a broken heart. And you're worth more than that. You're too good for me. 3, you're too good for me. Now, let's talk about another phrase that might not sound dangerous at first, but it carries more weight than most men realize. When a woman looks at you and says, "You're too good for me," a lot of guys take it as a compliment. They hear those words and think, wow, she really sees my value. She knows I'm a good man. But let me stop you right there. That statement isn't a compliment. It's a confession. And if you listen closely, it's also a warning. Here's what it really means. She knows deep down that she can't or won't match your effort. She knows she doesn't intend to give you the same level of love, loyalty, or consistency that you're giving her. So instead of stepping up, she lowers your expectations with this line: "You're too good for me." It sounds sweet. It sounds humble. But underneath, it's her way of telling you she doesn't plan to rise to your standard. Relationships require balance. They require both people giving and receiving. But when a woman says you're too good for her, what she's really doing is preparing the exit door in advance. It's like she's saying, "I already know I won't keep up with you. I already know I'll let you down. So let me soften the blow by pretending you're just out of my league." The truth is, no one who truly wants to love you will push you away under the disguise of "you deserve better." If she really believed you deserved better, she would step up and be better. This line also tells you something important about how she views herself. If she really believes you're too good, it means she already feels inferior, insecure, and incapable of being your equal. And let me tell you, no matter how patient you are, no matter how much reassurance you give, you can't build a healthy relationship on top of insecurity that deep, because insecurity doesn't stay hidden. It comes out in jealousy, in self-sabotage, in arguments that don't make sense, and eventually it will crush the connection between you. Many men make the mistake of hearing this line and then doubling down. You try to convince her otherwise. You tell her, "No, I love you just the way you are. You're perfect for me." Don't say that. You go out of your way to prove she's wrong, hoping to make her feel secure. But here's the harsh truth. You can't fix her. You can't convince someone to believe in their own worth if they don't want to. And in the meantime, while you're busy reassuring her, she's slowly pulling away. Think about it like this. If she truly believed in the relationship, if she truly valued you, her words wouldn't be, "You're too good for me." Her words would be, "I'll match your energy. I'll meet you at your level. I'll give you the same respect and loyalty that you're giving me. And you watch your ears stop tight shut." That's what partnership sounds like. Anything less is an imbalance. An imbalance always leads to collapse. So, when a woman tells you, "You're too good for me," take it for what it really is. A sign that she's either unwilling or unable to meet you where you stand. Don't let your pride convince you to prove her wrong. Don't waste your energy trying to rescue her from her own insecurities, because here's the reality. You deserve someone who doesn't see your love as a burden. You deserve someone who doesn't feel less than in your presence. You deserve someone who wants to match your energy, not someone who warns you ahead of time that she can't. The bottom line is this: when she says, "You're too good for me," believe her. Because what she's really telling you is that she won't give you what you need. And instead of waiting around for her to disappoint you, walk away with your self-respect intact. A woman who sees your value and actually wants to keep you will never make you feel like being good is a problem. 4, I'm not ready for a relationship. I'm not ready for a relationship. Now, here's one line that far too many men ignore. I'm not ready for a relationship. You'd be surprised how often guys hear this, brush it off, and keep pushing forward, thinking she just needs time. If I show her how serious I am, she'll change her mind. But let me be brutally honest with you. When a woman tells you she's not ready for a relationship, she means exactly that.